What's up, guys? So I messed up. I recorded this earlier and I had my microphone plugged in, but it's been a while since I've been on a computer. So I had it to set up to record through the device, which since I had the headphones plugged into the jack, there's a little bit of static here and there. But this will be the part one. This is getting ready for Import Tuner Challenge 2025 coming out. January 23rd is going to be the release. It's a pre-release, I guess. It'll be more like what's that? Like a post-launch. Man, my brain's going blank. But yeah, January 23rd, and they're looking for a full release on, I think, by May. So I watched a video from another guy who actually got to get some hands-on play with it, and he said that there's not going to be any cockpit view, which was really strange. I have footage where you can see the dash displays all lit up, and he said that they're not rendering the interiors, which clearly they rented the interiors, but so that's kind of a bummer. And then, like I said, I'm basically just doing a voiceover on this, so we're both watching this together. I raced like some of screen so small I can't read it. But yeah, this is also running on the ROG Ally Extreme V1, which I really enjoy so far. It's kind of crazy how far computers are gone and how far I've fallen. I used to play on a 2080 Ti with 64 gigabytes of RAM, and I can't remember what Ryzen CPU I had. I think I spent like $600, which is quite a bit for CPU. And then to be playing on a handheld nowadays, which anything is better than PlayStation or Xbox. I mean, I have to say it. I got a PlayStation for Gran Turismo a couple years ago. I sold my computer to buy a real car. I have a 1990 300ZX twin turbo that I've been working on ever since, and it's been rather draining. So it's nice to be back on any sort of computer, really. And I've actually ran this on a Assetto Corsa, and I did no Hesi server. It'll play it, and my simulator hooks up to it. I have the dock. I don't know what brand dock it is, but it'll play it. It doesn't play it like nothing super high quality. I pretty much had to turn it down to like 720 resolution, but I was still able to get away with it. And it's still a lot of fun to have my sim up and running again. So yeah, that'll be the majority of this. I don't know how many parts it'll take me to beat the game. I beat Rolling Guide number 1, and for your guys' sake, I cut some of the other footage. Part of my tactics on this game, from back in the day, you probably only make maybe 70 million in a full playthrough beating everybody, and you can go back and re-race people, but when the parts are 7 million credits, which is, it's basically yen. And so for like the engines, if it's 7 million for an engine and 5 million for transmission, and however much for the roll cages and everything else, then it's basically, you're only going to be able to fully build one car through any given playthrough. So on this one, it's basically a tactic I've done on, I probably played the game 10 times now, is use the S13, just get a small bottle of nitrous on it, and just use it until you can buy the car that you want, and then just sell the S13 or whichever car you want. It's just, I think this is the cheapest one you can get, so you save a lot of your money from the initial amount that it gives you. So I beat rolling guy number 1, and then whoever this team is, the perfect beginner, that's the one where it's like all 240s, and I basically got jumped by like 3 of them, and they smoked me like 3 times. And I'm trying to play this a clean playthrough this time around, where I'm not, you know, ramming other guys to keep the win or whatever. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This brought back a lot of good memories already, just playing this little bit this morning. I recorded this, and when I went back to watch it on, I used CapCut for my video editing, because I'm so cheap. And it's really easy to use. I use it on my phone to make some videos. I put out another video, so if you guys are trying to download this and you're still running into the black screen, I have another video on my channel that should fix it if you're running a newer PC. I got the config settings off of Reddit from another user who's using 4090, and even though he did everything like everybody's been saying to do, it still didn't work. So I got mine working now. And like I said, this is for the ROG Ally Extreme, so if you have the same system, just follow those steps in my other video, and it shows you how to set everything up. You know, you still have to do all the download Xenia, do everything that you would normally, and if you still run into that black screen, then check that video out. That should help you out. Which is crazy. It shows a little bit of hitching or a little bit of stuttering, and maybe that's just due to the playback. It'll be interesting to see how this renders at the end of it, because even CapCut was telling me it is a little bit slower, so I had to mess with some of the audio to get it right. So hopefully that doesn't throw it off for the main video, because that'll mess up this whole thing, and I'll be really sad. But hopefully it should work. Hope. Like I said, when I was playing the game with the screen recorder on, it was working fine. It did really well. So, fingers crossed that I won't have to do this all over again. I'm sure I could probably just edit the files around, but it would be really a shame that if it doesn't show me necessarily what it's actually going to be like. You know, if there's some like audio differences between the real uploaded version. I don't know, I'm probably throwing you guys with video editing nonsense. Had some good points too. I think it was, I guess we're just talking about the game that's coming out. Another thing, I saw some pictures. It looks like the parking areas are a lot more fleshed out in the new one, and it's going to be the same map layout as Import Tuner Challenge as this game. Identical. It's all the same stuff. There may be a little bit more. I saw like an expanded map, and maybe there's just, it seems like the world is a lot more populated in terms of cars that you can race, and then like instead of it being blue and green and, you know, purple for the cars that have already beat you, it'll actually have the emblem. So if you're looking for a specific person to race, you'll see it in the map as you're driving around. I don't know if it'll be on the mini map, but you know, instead of it being a red above, the red little emblem above him, it'll actually be that. Some type of driver information. They didn't elaborate a whole lot on that. I know that at least for right now, there's no Hondas going to be coming in the game, which is kind of a bummer, because I mean, you start out on the C1 loop, so how can you have a Tokyo street racing game without Hondas on the C1 loop, because that's like where they live. Which is completely absurd to me. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this should be a pretty short part one. Basically just get the rolling guy, beat him. Like I said, I have a 300ZX in real life, and that's the car that I'm going to be trying to build out this time. You know, I beat the game so many times. There's still a few parts. I think I haven't beat the game with the RX-7 or the RX-8. I don't think I beat it with the 300ZX. Definitely beat it with the R34 and the Super Mark IV, not with the Mark III. What are the cars? I think I beat it with the GC, older Subaru, the 2-door, pretty sure. I know I beat it with the newer 4-door. But yeah, I really enjoy playing this game. It's very nostalgic. I think low amount like 2.7 million. I think I stood up doing late for this. Oh, and I get the nitrous, I get an alien. Yeah, this game blew me away when I first got it. I was at like there's a game store called Game Freak, not GameStop. This is before GameStop had even come out. Yeah, I remember seeing the box on the shelf. I was like, oh, that's a Supra. It had the engine that you could see through the hood. And I was like, well, it's got turbos on it. And I'd never heard of the game. I've heard of Tokyo Extreme Racer, but I've never heard of Import Tuner Challenge. So I bought it. It was like $5. And then now if you look for this game on eBay, like a sealed one, they want $150 for it. You might be able to get a scratch with this for $50, you know, from eBay, which is crazy that it for the physical. And then obviously you have to buy an Xbox 360, which obviously it's not that expensive, but it's crazy that it's either this or nothing. It's either this or buy a 360. And, you know, even then you're stuck with, you know, you can't really, there's no FSA or, you know, there's no optimization for it really, which is crazy that you can get from on a handheld. When you start pitching there, it'll try to throw you in first gear for whatever reason, because it's maybe ABS reasons or something. Pretty wild this thing can run instead of course but it's still moving. Part 2, I don't know how I'm going to beat those. I don't think I'll be able to beat those guys in the next 2 teams, the ones that all gamed up on me. Still is. I don't think I'll be able to beat. I mean, because the C1 is great because there's so many corners that I have to slow down for, that if you just hit your line perfectly, you just keep as much speed as possible. And obviously right now I have no nitrous. Kind of screwed myself there. And I screwed up my perfect record. Really hoping to keep, but like I said, I'm not even planning on keeping this car. So as soon as I get that 3.5 million, getting that 300, that's some money, you know, they give me, get the components over here comes rolling guy number 1. Yeah, another thing I said was that the music for the new one, that is really fleshed out. He said something about the England model, but obviously, you know, it is going to have wheel support. I don't know if you guys can check out that video. They had some big car show where they had a regular rig, you know, gamepad rig, and then they had, you know, another computer set up with some chairs, wheels set up. So you can change all those settings through the. I have a thrust master where I can change my force feedback and my rotation from the wheel itself. And I used the TH8 as exit shifter, but I also have say adapters and spin the plate, you can make it sequential. So either way, they try to choose it. As long as I can do, even if I have to use, like a third-party controller emulator to set it up, I should be fine. And that's what I plan to do. Hopefully I can get some decent resolution. It's not going to have multiplayer for the new game coming out. It's going to be a single-player game. And they said they were trying to keep it simple. They didn't want to overcommit and have the game come out, super choppy and whatnot. But I just hope that it's refined enough into like the software. As long as it runs well, that's my main thing that I'm concerned with. But yeah, I think this is where I'm going to end it. So that's the end of part 1. So hopefully you guys will come and check in for part 2.